During the poorest year of my life, to earn $50,000, I pretended to be my brother and took care of his fiancé, who had lost her sight. She was Lila Young, a wealthy young woman who had just endured a family upheaval, and he, Ethan Ford, was blind from a car accident. The day her sight returned, I left quietly, without saying goodbye. We met again during a business interview. I was now an unknown intern reporter, while Lila had regained her position as the heiress of the Young family empire, sitting confidently under the spotlight. The host asked, "I hear that during your illness, your fiancé Ethan was by your side. Are you two about to get engaged?" Lila lifted her hand, showing her ring, a faint smile on her lips. "Yes, we're about to be engaged." But her eyes, behind her lenses, flicked toward the corner where I sat. Whispers spread. Lila, once cast out of her family, had regained her sight and authority. While I quietly observed, I forced a smile, recalling the days I had been injured protecting her. Back then, she was headstrong and prone to trouble, and I silently stood by, shouldering everything. Ethan passed by me, carrying a faint scent of cedar, and only then did I realize that I had been the one truly by her side, while he had been mistakenly credited as her companion. 2 years later, Lila could see again. Ethan had become a rising star, and I was still an unknown reporter. After the press conference, news of their engagement went viral, while I watched from backstage. Back at the office, my supervisor assigned me to cover a live emotional interview with Ethan and Lila. I gripped my notebook, remembering every painful moment of my secret companionship. The live broadcast began, reaching over 1 million viewers. The host asked, "Can you share your journey?" Ethan looked at Lila with tenderness, while she recounted their low points, his long days caring for her, her insecurities that even led to burning the kitchen. Every detail she mentioned was clear in my memory. I had been the one by her side. Watching the live comments, I asked a carefully timed question that forced them to reveal the truth. The show went viral, and my efforts were finally acknowledged. But just as I was savoring this success, shadows from the past emerged. At the press event, a stranger journalist accused me of using unethical means to get stories. The room erupted. Lila appeared, her gaze sharp and commanding, silencing everyone. She quietly confirmed the facts with Ethan. The audience saw me confront the truth. I was the one who had truly cared for Lila. Ethan was stunned and tried to argue, but Lila presented the evidence. I gripped the microphone and said, "The claims about Ethan are false. Our interactions were strictly professional." Lila stood beside me, her eyes firm and warm. In that moment, I felt a long-awaited sense of justice and respect. I lowered the microphone, ready to leave, but Lila called out, "Jack, let's talk." In the rainy night, she drove me, and the silence between us was comforting. I reflected on those 2 years, when I had pretended to be Ethan to care for her unnoticed. That secret devotion had now earned its reward: trust, understanding, and respect. That night the rain stopped, the wind calmed, and we nestled together in her villa. She whispered, "Jack, go chase your dreams. I'll protect you." I looked at her and felt a peace I had never known. Past humiliations and hardships transformed into strength, supporting our future. Months later, my career took off. The name Jack Baxter began appearing in U.S. business magazines for investigative reporting. I had never revealed the effort I had poured into caring for Lila. She had become the head of the Young family, and I had emerged as a rising star in journalism. We each shone in our own worlds while maintaining our connection. Once, Lila invited me to a charity gala at the Young family's private estate in Los Angeles. Red carpets lined the hall, golden chandeliers glittered, and the guests were the city's elite. She walked up to me, smiling. "Jack, you look different." I smiled faintly. "Finally, I'm standing in your world." A playful glint crossed her eyes, a silent understanding built over years. Ethan was there, and the atmosphere was tense. Past misunderstandings lingered like air, but they could not touch us. Lila steered the conversation gracefully while we whispered in a corner, sharing updates and dreams. In that moment, I felt true equality and recognition, no longer the shadowy protector I once was. Over time, we collaborated on young family charity projects, me as media consultant, her as investor. Publicly, we became a golden duo. Privately, the trust and understanding between us were far more valuable than any accolade. Gradually, I realized my feelings for Lila went beyond friendship. She, too, began to reveal hers through glances and gentle touches that made my heart race. One rainy night, on the villa balcony overlooking the city lights, she held my hand. "Jack, will you face the future with me?" I nodded, gripping her hand as if holding the entire world. In that moment, past secrets, 2 years of devotion, misunderstandings, and pain all transformed into a warm force, sustaining our love and future. We could finally face each other openly, without pretense. The storm had passed, the city still buzzed, but our world was quietly whole. Life went on. We weathered career ups and downs, family matters, and public scrutiny, always hand in hand. Ethan gradually faded from her life, and the shadows of the past were fully cleared. Through courage and persistence, we wrote our own story. Years later, the young family business expanded globally. Our names frequently appeared on financial magazine covers. In every interview, I would casually say, "Lila is my most important partner, and an irreplaceable part of my life." She would smile, her eyes warm and determined. What had once been a secret became a shared memory and the foundation of our love. On the rooftop balcony of the young estate, overlooking the sparkling city lights of Los Angeles, she leaned on my shoulder, whispering, "Jack, thank you for always being by my side." I held her hand tightly. "Lila, past, present, and future, I'm always with you." The wind calmed, the rain stopped, and though the city buzzed around us, our hearts were at peace. 3 years of secret devotion and 6 years of trials had finally blossomed into a steady, enduring love.